So today in the studio with the O Show, I have the pleasure of sitting down with the president, the interim president at Stowe State University, Dr. Smith. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
For real, you know the sun came out for you today, right?
That's right.
I know.
Got a smile upon this building.
Seriously,
right.
seriously. And you know they're saying that spring is supposed to be coming early.
Of course.
Yeah.
I
know.
And then winter kicking in April. That's St. Louis for you.
We just experienced like all the seasons. It's supposed to be like 60 this weekend. Snow yesterday.
I love it.
I don't know what else we can complain about, right?
That's right. No complaints.
And speaking of a lot of amazingness, as seen, recognized by U.S. News and World Report, you have so many accomplishments. You led the institution through 5 accreditations. You are the man in charge right now.
I'd like to show my Stowe.
I'm talking about you in Stowe.
Thank
You
you.
have done amazing work there.
It's been a team approach to making this happen for Stowe. So
I'm sure.
Excited about being here at Stowe and excited about the work that we're doing and the plans we have for the future.
Absolutely.
Of our great institution.
Yeah, absolutely. And speaking of that, like, can you tell me about some of the current Stowe State University accomplishments that you all have had?
Oh, sure. You know, we are really known for our STEM, even though most people think of us as education.
Yeah.
And so about 30% of our students major in some type of STEM degree program, which is one of the highest in the region for underrepresented students. So in fact, the Coordinating Board of Higher Education, which oversees all the Missouri public institutions, just approved for Stowe to have a statewide mission in STEM, which is science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. And so we're the only HBCU in the country that has a statewide mission.
Really?
But specifically, in STEM. And so we're excited about that. And so that means a whole lot of other things for Stowe. So that's one of the great things that are happening. Last year, HBCU Digest, they selected Stowe having the #1 STEM program in the nation of all HBCUs. And we were in competition for places like Hampton and North Carolina A&T.
This is major.
Yeah, major. It's major, and so this is happening at Stowe.
What?
Yes.
What?
Yes.
So Stowe has such a long history.
Oh yeah.
I mean, let's go back to what 1857 here.
1857.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, and so what most people don't know. So in 1857, Harris was founded for women, white women.
White women too, right?
Right, but what's unique about that is that during that time period, women period did not have opportunities for education. So the first white woman received her college degree 17 years before the founding of Harris Teachers College. So actually the African American man received a college degree before the African American, the white woman.
Right.
But then, of course, when opportunities open up for women, they kind of outpace men. But it was founded in 1857, and then 1890, Stowe was founded for African American women. This is 30 years after the Emancipation Proclamation.
Exactly.
Right. And so you literally had former slaves and their children as our first students. So we existed side by side for decades, and then in 1954, which is the landmark Brown decision, which outlawed, legalized segregation, Harris and Stowe merged, and they became one institution. But prior to the merging, we had this phenomenal leader, which was Dr. Ruth Harris. And Dr. Ruth Harris was one of the first African-American women that led at college. Most people think about her, Mary McLeod Bethune.
Yeah.
Founder of Bethune-Cookman, but there's also Ruth Harris, that was president of Stowe from 1933 for almost 20 some odd years before the Brown decision. And so she laid the foundation for education not only in this region but the nation.
Yeah.
And this is Stowe, you know.
And it wasn't that far ago.
Oh no, not at all. And so we were probably one of the only schools that desegregated or integrated as a result of the Brown decision. Most people think about K through 12, but Harris Stowe is one of those ones that desegregated, and we became an HBCU in 1987 because of the founding of Stowe in 1890. So we're one of the youngest HBCUs in the country, but one of the oldest institutions in the nation.
At the same time.
Yeah, and then also we're the first teacher education school west of the Mississippi.
I saw that.
So everything west of the Mississippi River, we were the first.
Isn't that crazy how much history is here in
That's right.
St. Louis?
That's right.
And
That's
here,
right.
and especially if you're born and raised, homegrown, which
right.
you are, which I found out.
That's right. West Side.
You heard me? North side, north side.
Proud of it.
And it's crazy to know that it started with literally like an institution for white teachers to teach in white schools.
That's right.
To now look at where we are. And I mean, you all are leading major moves with just the STEM program,
That's
just
right.
alone.
That's right.
Just
That's right.
alone. So how do you feel that HSU is expanding? Because you're all about knowing with our past, being knowledgeable of our past, but also knowing where we're going. Which
Sure.
I think it's really great that you all have partnered with St. Louis Public Schools
Sure.
for your dual enrollment
Our
program.
dual enrollment program. We have
Yeah.
about close to 100 public school students across the school district. All the different high schools. They come to Harris Stowe. They actually are dual enrolled, meaning that they're taking high school courses towards graduation, but then they're also taking college level courses that will aid them when they go on to higher education.
Right.
Yeah.
That is like the bomb.
That's it.
I
yeah.
wish that stuff was around when I was in school with Dr. Smith.
Well, right. Same here. But I think some of those things were there, but in terms of letting people know about them,
Yeah.
I think that's really was the key. And so for us, we have a strong communications team who are out there letting individuals know about the opportunities at Harris Stowe for our students, but also for the community.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What other expansions have you all made? I mean, let's start with the fact that the William Clay Child Development Center is absolutely amazing. I mean, I know almost every parent instantly that's like on their top list to go and visit for their kids. What made you all expand and do that?
Well, initially we had a lot, and we still do. We still have adult learners, those individuals who are past the traditional age 18-22. Many of them were parents, single parents, and they needed childcare. And so through the vision of actually Dr. Henry Givens, we were able to get funding from the state to build the Early Childhood Center. So it has become this diverse environment. So we have students that have their children there. We have professionals, other faculty members at other institutions that's there for their children to receive a world-class early childhood education. And that's really where it starts. You know? So we have actually within our early childhood program, we have STEM. That's incorporated into the curriculum.
And kids are crazy about STEM.
That's right.
I have two boys, 5 and 7, and I mean everything is STEM. And I love that that's all that they know.
That's right.
It's STEM, you know?
Right.
And just to see that Harris Stowe State University is all about our inspiring change here in the community. What can we see in the near future when it comes to the responsibility that you all have in making St. Louis great?
So the push in St. Louis is to be the STEM ecosystem, the leader in STEM. And so we have the National Geospatial Agency that's being built in North City. It's going to be a $1.7 billion edifice. It's going to be
really. Wait a minute! You just said that so calmly. Now I totally missed that. Rewind. You said y'all building what on the north side?
Well, actually, this is the federal government. Is building this $1.7 billion geospatial agency.
I did not know that.
Oh yeah. Where the former projects were,
Right there, is that like off of Cass and
Jefferson?
I know exactly what you're talking about. Okay.
So it's 1.7 billion build, but it's going to provide many types of opportunities in geospatial intelligence. And so our goal is that we want to be at the ecosystem. There are going to be new jobs. There are going to be positions and jobs that are not even here. And so we feel it's important for our students to help diversify that particular profession. And so we've been in discussion with the National Geospatial Agency and also really even the geospatial community here. And that's one of the things kind of flying below the radar that is happening in St. Louis. And then when it hits in 2023, it's supposed to open, that we want to be at the front of the line opposed to at the tail end of the line trying to get involved in it. So that's one of our areas that we're working on, looking at. And actually, we just put forth a proposal to the National Science Foundation of $700,000 to develop our geospatial curriculum.
That is what I'm talking about.
Right.
Putting St. Louis, Missouri on the map.
All of St. Louis.
That's what I'm
All
saying. All of St. Louis.
Yes, that's right.
Oh my gosh. So answer this as we close out. What do you feel is important when it's time for inspiring change for somebody, like just somebody in particular who is, why should they feel that they should enroll in Stowe State University knowing that they are about to be a part of a major change?
So I would say we transform lives student at a time, you know. And I often talk about my own trajectory. I grew up on the west side of St. Louis. It's called the Wells Goodfellow neighborhood now, one of the kind of the loaded neighborhoods that are kind of nihilistic in terms of the things that are happening, and Blackstone and Martin Luther King and those areas. But was very impoverished, but the transformative power of education is really what moved my family. There were 7 of us in our family. We have over 10 college degrees, right?
Okay.
And so it was really education. It wasn't sports. There's nothing wrong with sports. There's nothing wrong with entertainment, but it was education and opportunity that made the difference. And so for our students at Harris Stowe, what we offer this transformative experience that you can come to Harris Stowe and you can be transformed. One of the stats we like to talk about is that many of our students are first generation, first in their family to go to college, and they also are Pell eligible, meaning that they are low income, but yet this national, well, it's actually the United Negro Fund, did a story, comprehensive research on all HBCUs, and they found that Harris Stowe, we add 70% more in income to a student that graduates from our institution than if they had just a high school diploma. So that means if you look at it collectively, over the last 4 years, our graduates have a collective earning income of over $1.3 billion at Harris Stowe State University. These are first generation, and these are low income students. So we're talking about the economic engine. Also, we provide over $65 million each year to the economy to St. Louis. And so that number is going to increase, and so that's why we feel that we are the right choice.
Yeah.
The right choice.
Come on.
Not only for our students, but for St. Louis.
I think that is amazing. I actually have quite a few friends who have graduated from Harris Stowe State University, so I'm honored to say that I've been in the building. Hornets, hey!
That's right. It's a great day to be a Hornet, we always say.
Believe it. I believe it. I want to say thank you so much for taking time out of your schedule. I mean, because this is the interim president. Stop by the old show. And I really want to say thank you. And thank you so much for sharing the history facts about Harris Stowe State University. Because as you say, you're inspiring change.
That's right.
Our future, our past. Thank you for sharing it on Hot 104.1.
You're welcome. I'm glad to be here.
Thank you.
God bless you.
You too.